Hello everyone, Black Rose Duelist here, and today I have my list for the top 5 decks of February 2016. Now, it's actually really funny I'm making this list today, because yesterday I was going to make this video, but the list is completely different now, because of the new list that Konami just gave out, which is basically the new ban list. They're calling it, like, an arrangement or whatever, but it's a ban list, and Pepe is absolutely crushed from the list. And you can hear Pepe fans just crying. You can hear the Cosmo fans like screaming tears of joy. It's a riot, and it really makes this list a lot harder to make, but also a lot more fun to make, because yesterday Pepe was number 1, and now it's probably not even in the top 10. So please be generous with the comments, because I know my list probably differs from yours, because we haven't even had an official tournament with this list yet. It just came out a few hours ago. So these are purely my predictions, but also my opinion backed up, and I'm pretty sure it's pretty accurate, at least in my opinion. So yeah, let's jump into number 5. So number 5 is Infernoids. Now, Infernoids are a deck that I think had a pretty bad Pepe matchup. So now that the number 1 deck is Cosmo, Specter, all those decks that kind of aren't really that bad against. Like, what I'm trying to say is the matchup for Infernoids are a lot better now, considering that Pepe is gone. Now they have more decks like Monarchs, Cosmo, Specter, Burning Abyss, Mermail. Those decks have a lot of better chance to beat than you did with Pepe. So I think Infernoids will gracefully just pick up in playability, because I know that there's a lot of Infernoid and Lightsworn fans, and I know those two decks will kind of compete and combine together, and I feel like it's really going to rise this format. It can easily crush Cosmo's big ships. That wasn't even supposed to be a pun like that. It can easily take down the Monarchs. Nothing can really get over with it with Specters if you go first turn, like Infernoid Inoku. Like, what Specter can get over that? So it really does have a good matchup against these new decks that are going to rise now that Pepe have fallen. So Infernoid's at number 5. At number 4, we have a deck that I kind of disregarded in a way. A lot of you got mad at me for not mentioning it in the top 5 last month, but I actually kind of agree with you. So Burning Abyss at number 4, because the deck actually can compete pretty well, especially, again, Pepe was a pretty bad matchup for Burning Abyss, but now that Pepe is completely irrelevant, I don't think it's going to be like Dragon Roller where it kind of stays relevant, like number 1, number 2. I think it's going to be completely gone. So I think Burning Abyss will really rise with this new format and new way of playing in a non-Pepe fashion. So the ability to do Burning Abyss, the Fire Lake, is actually really good now. Being able to go Dante isn't horrific. It's actually pretty good. So I think Burning Abyss does have a chance, especially with their good traps, their good back row, which is traps, and Dante. So I'm really pulling through for Burning Abyss. I'm kind of rooting for it for some reason this time around. Number 3 is Specter. Now, Specter, I'm kind of combining with but like pendulums in general. I know that sounds weird, but number 3 is basically Pendulum Magician slash Specter, because the deck can really go either way. I'm thinking because of the hits, some of the more pendulum-based Specter builds will go down. I think pure Specter will truly rise this format with things like the new Gamma, the new Traps, the new Sonic. I think the deck will really rise as a pure Specter deck, and I think it will be able to compete now, which it really couldn't against Pepe. So I'm thinking that Specter, the pure version, will come out on top of the mixture with Pendulum Magicians. I also think that being able to go first turn, QB, set 4, like a Solemn Notice, Specter, Tornado, a Tempest, and like a Mirror Force or something, it's pretty ridiculous, and that's just an easy turn for them. So especially with the pure version with Majesty's Pegasus, being able to go Bambuku, search, Tribute Bambuku, summon, search, pendulum scale, special summon, search. You get to go like +7 first turn with tons and tons of back rows. So I think Magic Specters are really good contender for number 3, along with the other pendulum decks that will still linger. Okay, so the top 2 is the deck that I think people are really going to debate about the most. Obviously, I think you know what number 1 is, but I'm going to keep it a secret just in case. But number 2 is Monarchs. And Monarchs is a deck that I still don't know too much about with the new support that's been given. I know it's really good, and I know it has lots of power to it, and I know a lot of people are going to be able to pick it up. But one of the main reasons why I think this deck is going to be number 2, possibly even number 1 eventually, is its accessibility. Now this deck is like like $600 cheaper than Cosmo. You literally can go to your local Walmart and pick up the deck for $30. So the fact that it's a structure deck really benefits the deck. It's kind of like the Dark World effect, the Yugioh effect at that point, Heroes. When a deck is very cheap, it often performs better because of its accessibility to all players. The other thing is it really has a strong matchup, I think, against most of the decks this format. It's very consistent with its new cards, and it can drop really powerful monsters really quick. And it can really stun your opponent. It's really hard for like Cosmos to get over you when you have that one continuous spell, like I think it's March of the Monarch or something, when they can't be like targeted or destroyed by card effects. It's really hard for a Cosmo player to get over that at some point in the duel. So I think Monarchs are a very safe choice for number 2, and I don't think they're quite number 1 yet. And I know you guys will probably prove me wrong in the comments below, but I think number 1 is Cosmo. And the reason why I think Cosmo is number 1 deck is because, number 1, it's still getting support. And I know that doesn't directly help the deck right now, but I think that the promise of more support is going to give the players more leniency and more thrill to play the deck, because they know this deck is not going to get hit for a while. They know it's not going to get murdered by the ban list like Pepe. They know that it's going to get supported in future sets. So I think Cosmo is a very safe bet for players to invest in the past few months and now. So I think Cosmo is a very good deck that you should invest in, and a deck that I think a lot of people will, and it'll be the number 1 deck of the format. Now that's just money-wise. Now, deck-wise, I think the deck is extremely powerful. You have monsters that inherently can't get targeted, that can destroy cards, and when they die, you get out more of them. You have Cosmo Farm Girl, which alone is one of the best searchers in a deck, because you can summon it directly from the deck with E-Tally in the battle phase. You have the wind-up rabbit-like effect, where you can banish it whenever, wherever, from the field, and you can summon a bigger ship for your hand. It's just really crazy what the deck can do, and the fact that it can get out all these really strong, like 3,000 beaters that can't get targeted. When they finally get off the field, you get more of them. It's just really crazy, and its OTK potential, it can deal damage so quick. 1 second you'll have 8,000, the next you'll have 0. So I think Cosmo is a very safe bet for number 1. I think Monarch might eventually challenge it for the number 1 spot, but for right now, with all the hype towards the deck, with all the promise of future support, and just the lure of the deck, Cosmo is, you have Star Wars, the new movie, you have Wizard of Oz, everyone loves those movies. I think that brings lots of interest to the deck, and with interest brings more players, and with more players means the deck will top more. So I think the deck is a very safe choice for number 1, and who knows, it might change throughout the month. I'm still not completely sure about how Monarchs will do entirely. I think they're very promising, but I don't think they are number 1 material just yet. So I really hope you enjoyed this list. Have a very amazing February 2016. I hope you like the wallpaper art I made right there with May and Yugi and all of them. So if you enjoyed this video, please make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. I make new videos, Yu-Gi-Oh related, every single day, and I make this monthly chart every single month. So if you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys next month. Bye bye!